No. Your soul now belongs to the land, and henceforth you will belong to it forever. Now die, and return. Then hand us Girdlegard.
You're a perfectionist, Tungdil Bolafar.
I've got a reputation to uphold. If you can't rely on the metalwork of a dwarf, what can you rely on? What can I do for you?
For me, nothing. It's Lot Yonan. He wants to see you in his study.
In your mind, you go through all the recent incidents that might have annoyed the Magus. Apart from a few little squabbles with his famuli, nothing worth mentioning happened since the incident with your beard. You nod.
Okay. You look dreadful.
What a charmer.
The maid gives you an ironic, reprimanding scowl.
Ikana has been crying half the night.
When you were teething, I carried you around the vaults. You played with my beard and I sang you to sleep.
Frala smiles. She's heard this story many times before.
That was 23 cycles ago. But I'm quite sure you didn't sing. You might have grumbled a bit.
If what you've read about the dwarven lifespan is true, it'll be another 300 sun cycles and more before you are called to the Eternal Forge. The certainty of one day having to witness Frala's death already burdens your heart.
I'd better not keep the Magus waiting.
See you later. There's goulash for dinner.
There was a time when you could hardly lift the heavy hammer. Now you barely notice it anymore, and it feels like an extension of your arm. Smithing is in your blood.
This is where you swung the forge hammer for the first time 30 cycles ago. No one taught you the craft. It was enough for you to watch Lot Yonan's old smith at work. Whenever the workshop was empty, you practiced and quickly mastered the craft with ease.
Hey, groundling! Come to the kitchen, we need you.
Jolison, a fourth-degree famulus and your favorite foe among the students of magic, gives you a disparaging glance and disappears without waiting for your reply.
Tangdale! Quick! Or the goulash will get burnt!
You immediately recognize what the problem is. A chain running over a pulley for positioning the cauldron is detached from its mounting, and the cauldron stuck in the fireplace. It's a heavy load, and none of the famuli, who feel superior even during kitchen duty, dare.
The beer that is delivered to the vaults is supposed to...
Stay here. My cooking pot needs repairing.
It'd be a waste of goulash. And I'm hungry. Here, hold this. Do you remember when you dyed my beard with some magic spell? I had to shave it off.
You stroke your beard, which is unusually short for a dwarf.
Damn it! Ah, it's heavy!
The young human forces through his pursed lips, letting the pot sink a little.
Don't you dare ruin my goulash, boy!
The cook, with beefy forearms, glares at the young man, and after a brief moment, he tries harder. With as much concern in your voice as you can muster, you say,
Oh, no, this doesn't look good.
you're pleased to notice he's dripping with sweat.
I'll get you back for this, groundling! You damned freak!
For a moment, you hope the famulus really does raise his hand to you. But then he comes to his senses and leaves the kitchen, his face bright red.
What a pair you are!
Vegetables, bread, cheese, but the cook is not to be trifled with. Many painful knuckles have taught you that she knows how to...
Do you know what Loyonan wants?
The maid gives you an amused look. She has often accused you of making things more complicated than necessary.
Do you know what Loyonan wants?
The maid gives you an amused look. The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering.
Master Loyonan, Frala told me you wished to speak with me.
Ah, Tungdil, come in. There is a bag over there in the cupboard. Take it out, please. It contains artifacts belonging to my former famulus Goren. I wish to return them to him. He's in Blacksaddle, 300 miles away.
300 miles? That's a long journey. Who are you going to entrust with this?
I was thinking of you.
Me?
There is no one better to take on this journey. You have acquired much knowledge. You are almost a scholar. You know more than most famuli about Girdlegard and its inhabitants. It is time for you to go out into the world and see it with your own eyes.
With pleasure. What's in the bag?
Magical devices. You better leave the bag closed if you want to avoid any accidents. Dwarves don't really like magic, and magic doesn't like you either.
Vracus gave us so much craftsmanship that there's no space left in our bodies for magic.
Strictly speaking, every time you've been too close to magic, it has ended in catastrophe.
Perhaps I'll meet some dwarves on my travels.
Yes, perhaps. But don't hold out too much hope. And be careful who you talk to. Not everyone out there likes dwarves.
Yeah, goblins. They abduct baby dwarves and sell them to magi, from what I've heard.
Not the best bit of business I've ever done. But what was I to do? The Longnoses threatened to throw you into the nearest river. Be on your guard. Look after the bag and don't lose it. May Palandiel be with you. And Vracas too, of course.
I'll set off immediately. I'll see you soon, Lot Yonan.
Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon. Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet. And you think you're going to survive a 300-mile journey without provisions?
The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the... The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering. The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron.
It would be better to leave Lot Yonan to his work for now. You've already been...
Of the 200 or so people selected to learn the...
Hey, what are you doing, groundling? We're still eating here. Why don't you go and get your own portion?
It would be better to leave Lot Yonan to his work for now. You've already been given an assignment and you should leave as soon as possible. After all, you don't want him thinking you're homesick before you've even left. Just as you reach the door... Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet, and you think...
There are apparently dwarves who have never seen the sky. And you too feel more comfortable when you have rock over your head. If only you...
It would be better to leave Lot Yonan to his work for now. You've already been given an assignment and you should leave as soon as possible. After all, you don't want him thinking you're homesick before you've even left. It would be better... It would be better to... It would be better to leave...
Lot Yonan's vaults are equipped with laboratories, a library... The goulash is bubbling in the cauldron. You draw the warm air in through your nose, and the smell makes your mouth start watering.
The blacksmith? Do you want something?
Did a horse bolt while you were trying to shoe it? It's certainly not on our plates.
It would be better to leave Lot... Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet, and you think you're going... Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet, and you think you're going to survive a 300-mile journey without provisions. Just as you reach the door, your stomach rumbles. It's not even noon yet, and you think...
Hello, Frala.
Hmm?
I need provisions for 300 miles.
You're grinning from ear to ear. Finally, you've got the chance to see something of the world.
300? Tungdil, that's no errand. That's an epic journey. Wait, I've got just the right thing. But make sure the cook doesn't see.
I'm going to Blacksaddle to return a few things to a former apprentice in the Magus.
You pocket the rye bread, sausages, and ham. Enough food for the first few days of your journey.
Perhaps I'll even meet some dwarves on the way.
Frala throws you a cautious glance. It's a tricky subject that you can't...
I know.
Yes.
I've got a present.
You take... One look at Frala's face makes it clear that it doesn't matter. She glows with happiness as she takes the pendant.
For me?
Because you don't see me as an oddity, and you're like a little sister to me.
You could have said. But you settle with a shrug and a crooked smile.
I have to go. I've got a long journey ahead of...
I wish you the blessing of Palandial and Vraka.
How nice to see you again, Lot-Yonan. It must have been an age since we last met face to face.
Nudin, welcome. Please, sit down.
No, thank you, my friend. These are urgent matters, and I don't have much time. You must come to Leos Nudin immediately. The perished land is stirring.
Are you sure? What makes you think that?
I found out about 60 orbits ago, during a visit to the borders. Our magical barriers have weakened and become porous. The Elfar have left their land, and a huge horde of orcs have marched into Girdlegard.
Were you able to strengthen the spell with your magic?
No. I can't repair the damage alone. We need the combined power of the 6. The other 4 are already on their way here, but we need your help too.
I will set off for Parista without delay.
Oh, and as you're coming, could you also take the opportunity to bring back the things that I lent to you?
Of course. I have them already packed in a bag.
Oh, thank you. We'll be expecting you.
Utterly blinded by the sunlight, you squeeze your eyes tightly shut after only a few steps. The time spent underground has made you so sensitive to light that you're forced to seek shelter in the shade of a mighty oak. You reach a small lake by a birchwood. You pitch your camp and lie down. Around midday, with the sun high in the sky, when you see the blood, you scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next. You scour the area once more and ask yourself what to do next. It's time-consuming and strenuous work digging shut. You continue on your way so as to put a few more miles between.
You see a flickering light through the trees some way from the path. You walk towards the fire with confidence. Once you reach the edge of the firelight, you say, the men jump up and grab them.
Well, I'll be. Is that a groundling?
The men look you over.
My name is Tungdil. May I know with whom I have the pleasure?
A perfect...
I only...
Sod! Sod off, groundling.
You shrug your shoulders indifferently.
Good!
Your heart is pounding, and you confront the man.
Pah!
You find...
Enough to know.
The next morning, vision... It's a long time. You reach the banks of the Warder and can see Axeldale on the... You call to the nearest fish... You look at the cold. You once read... You leave the... You look down on a... The guards on the palace... The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy. The double gate is made of strong planks.
Orc skulls.
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with...
Orc skulls.
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with the severed heads of their fellow kind.
The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed part.
Orc skulls.
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with the severed head.
The double gate is made of strong planks. The double gate is made of strong planks. The double gate is made of strong planks. The double gate is made of strong planks, sturdy but still much less solid than the fixed parts of the palisade. Security has been forgone here for practical reasons. Never a good idea when building fortifications.
Orc skulls.
You're not sure it's wise to taunt the beasts with the severed heads of their fellow kind. Some of the guards begin to whisper as you near the gate.
Hello up there!
What brings you to fair good water? And have you seen any orcs on your travels, groundling?
The man leaning over the palisade eyes you up and down carefully.
Goodwater is where...
I regret...
The orc head.
I am... Yeah, we've...
Tooth.
Yes.
Do you want... I'm a black...
The merm...
I'm sure... I've got...
The double gate is made of straw.
Orc skulls?
You're not
The wooden palisade encompasses the whole...